Good morning, mathematicians of my life. Here is Teacher Ariel in one more episode of Believing Math. And in this episode, we are going to keep talking about decimals, but today we are going to talk about something that we already know, the magic of the zero. But this time we are going to understand how I can use the trick, magic of the zero, with the decimals. So let's just revise a little bit how I can work with magic of the zero. The magic of the zero is a strategy, is a trick that you can use to multiply when you have zeros at the end of your factors in an easier way. So the moment that I see a zero, I simply throw the zero and then I only have to deal with times 1, and times 1 is always itself. So 39 times 10 would be 390. I simply threw the zero and work it with the other factors. This is what the magic of the zero is. Throwing the zeros to the other side of the multiplication sentence and working with what you have left. So, for example here, 39 times 100. 100 has two zeros. So I am going to throw both of them. 1, 2, 1, 2. The moment that I threw the two zeros to the other side of the multiplication sentence, I only have to work with 39 times 1, which is 39. So the magic of the zero is a trick that we can use to multiply factors that are finished with 0 in a faster way. I don't even need to go to the vertical strategy. If I want, I can, but it is a trick that even helps us with mental math. So, always have in mind the magic of the zero. But when we have decimals, we need to be a little bit careful with the magic of the zero. Because if I have 4 and 7/10 times 10, and I try to do the same thing that I did with the whole numbers, I simply throw the 0, 1. And then 4 and 7/10 times 1. Look what happens. I simply find an equivalent decimal. So if I do this, if I simply throw the 0 and do times 1, it's not going to work with the decimals because I will simply find an equivalent decimal. And look what happened. You moved your comma. You moved your decimal point, which is not what we want here. If your number has tenths, your result, your product needs to have tenths. And if you simply throw the 0 there, hundredths is gonna appear. And that's not what it's not what is supposed to happen. So when we multiply decimals by 10, 100, 1000, we need to be careful and we need to work with the place value. There is a way that you can work with the vertical strategy and I'm going to show you later. But first let's focus here. What you need to think is that when you multiply by 10, these by 10, by 100, by 1000, these zeros, they are coming to the place value. But what they are going to do? They are going to push the numbers forward. So let's put our number 4 and 7/10 in the place value. So 4 and 7/10. The moment that I multiply by 10, this number is coming to the place value. But I can't write 70 here. And the 0 cannot come to the hundredths. So this 0 that is coming here is going to push my number forward. It's really push. Imagine that the 0 is there pushing and pushing. So my number is going to be, the decimal point is not going to change. And my number is pushing. Look, the presence of the 0 here, we can even change the name of the trick. We can say presence of the 0 instead of magic of the 0. The presence of the 0 pushes my number forward. So 4 and 7 tenths times 10 is 47. Now if I get the same number, 4 and 7 tenths times 100, I have 2 zeros here. So I am gonna push my number forward twice. So let's erase here. Oh, 1 0. If I get this number, this 0 over here is going to push once. But I have the other one that also needs to push. So I push 1 and then I pushed again. So 0, 0. This 0 pushed 47. This 0 pushed 470. So as many zeros I have, the more I am gonna push my number forward in the place value, because the number is growing, and the more I multiply, the more my number increases, the more my number grows. So forward my number walks. Okay, let's get a very quick example here with a number that has tenths. So let's see, 3 and 17 hundredths times 1000. 1000 has 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. So I will push my number in the place value 3 times. So my number is here, 3 and 17 hundredths. So let's push once. Push. Oh, look, the 0 here. So I pushed once. Now let's push again. Let's push again. I keep my numbers. The zeros, they go at the end. They don't go in the middle. I only push. So 1, 2 is missing the third one. We push again. 1, 2, 3. So my number is 3,170. 70, not 17. Sorry. So what you need to pay attention, how many zeros I have, how many times I'm gonna push my number forward in the place value. So first thing you do, get your decimal, put in the place value. Second thing you do, how many zeros you have? 1 0, push once. 2 zeros, push twice. 3 zeros, push 3 times. And the more zeros you have, the more you are going to push. Okay? So this was one more thought in our channel on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Send me a message if you need any help or if you have any suggestion of a video. And don't forget, always believe in math. See you!